So let's move on. The next passive income way, or the next passive income stream, is royalty income, right? Royalty income, basically the difference between royalty income and residual affiliate, right? In an affiliate, you're going to promote a product, you're going to promote somebody else's product, right? And then once they make that sale or you make that sale, then you get a commission. In royalty, it's basically your product. You created the product, but you have somebody else sell it for you, right? So when they sell it, then you guys share the profits and you make a royalty fee, whatever it is, right? The beauty about royalty payments is that all you got to do is put in the work to create something, and then you just hand it off to somebody else to sell it for you. Now, the system in place for this one is called Amazon Publishing, right? I'm pretty sure you guys all know who Jeff Bezos is, right? If you don't, I don't know what planet you're from, but Amazon Publishing is an awesome tool, right? So the products I created and started selling on Amazon are books, right? Here are 2 of my books. So all you have to do, right, is actually create it. You do it right on Microsoft Word. You create your book, right? You write your book. It could be whatever. It could be a how-to book, anything that you know you're good at and is in big demand, right? Something that people need. Remember, at the end of the day, right? Just, you gotta be creative, right? And you'll be surprised. Like, when I started, I never thought that I'd be able to write a book, right? But I just started thinking like, okay, what am I good at, and what may be something that can help somebody else, right? And by the way, the product that I use to learn about, writing is called the Author Academy, right? I highly recommend it. Yes, it costs a little bit of money, but the good thing is there's a ton of information that you'll get from them for free, right? So have no fear. You can learn a lot just from the free guides and videos that they provide you, right? It's not from Amazon, right? It's called the Author Academy. And again, just grab my book, and I got all the links in there. So if you decide to go with an educational tool, it's called the Author Academy, right? If you don't, no worries, right? But the reason I like Author Academy is because they taught me exactly from scratch how to set up my document, right? Because there's going to be like certain measurements and margins and how you set up your table of contents and all that, because once you download it into the Amazon Publishing, you can do 2 ways. Actually, there's 3, right? Not only will Amazon create a digital copy of your book and promote it for you, but they'll actually do, like I just showed you, the physical copy, right? Amazon did it. I don't have to worry about publishing, printing, making the physical copies and selling them. Amazon's doing that for me. They go ahead. All you have to worry about is making sure you fulfill their requirements as far as the parameters of the actual document, right? And you upload it right into their publishing. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So just imagine one book, right? With one book, I'm selling a digital copy, I'm selling a physical copy, and they even have audio versions, right? So you could have, just from one book, you could have 3 different streams coming in. So imagine if you have 2, 3, 4 books, right? You see where this is going? So, I mean, you'll be surprised. And from the Author Academy, right, like one of the guys that are teaching you in there, it's step by step. They teach you exactly how to get ready, when you start creating your actual book. They tell you how you start marketing it from like a pre-launch type of marketing. And then, how you upload everything into Amazon. And then how you eventually go after you market it, right? Because I don't only depend on Amazon to sell my book, right? I promote my book also. Many of you may be already aware that, on my social media pages, I promote the book also, right? But I don't have to be on top of my social media pages every day posting it, right? What do? I tapped into another system where I can just upload all my images, my links, my hashtags, and schedule my posts throughout the year, right? So that's another system that I'm using. And that way, I can just upload all that information, and by itself, like clockwork, it keeps promoting my book on all my social media pages. And then you got to get smart with your hashtags and everything, right? Amazon is also going to promote it on their own website. So not only are they doing it for me, right? And every time they sell a book, they pay me a royalty, but I'm also promoting it myself, right? But I'm not physically having to do the work because I tapped into a system that's doing it for me, okay? So let's move on. The next passive stream of income is called interest income. Some of you may have already seen it. I'll put a link up here. One of the videos I made is called Bad Credit Loans, okay? Where I'm teaching people with bad credit how to get personal loans. And the source or the system I'm using is called Lending Club, right? For those of you that are not familiar with them, just think about it like this, right? This is where you become the bank. So think about it like this, right? Most of you are probably, stashing your money away, in a secure savings account or maybe a CD. And maybe you're earning at most maybe 1 to 3% on your money, right? In interest. And then what does the bank do? They turn around and then charge you 5 to 6%. Right? Nowadays, I think it's maybe like a mortgage. It's probably around maybe like 4.75 to 5%. And that's if you've got outstanding credit, right? But for the rest of the people out there that don't have perfect credit, right? They got to pay what? 6%? 5 to 6%? All right, so when you think about it, the banks, all they're doing is, yeah, sure, they're more than happy to take your money, right? So what they'll pay you, maybe 1 to 3% in the savings account or CD. And then what do? They turn around and charge you maybe 5 to 6% just to borrow your own money back. Well, maybe not your money, but you know what I mean, right? So this is where you become the bank, right? You got to start thinking like the bank. So basically what Lending Club does is they'll bring together a bunch of investors that want to earn more on their money instead of trying to stash their money away, in a regular savings account, just collecting dust, right? Wealthy people know they make their money work hard for them, because if you don't, inevitably, you'll have to work hard for it, okay? So Lending Club, again, all they do is bring a bunch of investors that want to lend their money and earn a higher percentage of interest on their money. And then on the other hand, there's a bunch of people that need personal loans, but their credit might not be in perfect shape and can't go to the customary means like a bank or whatever to get a loan, right? So this is the perfect place, right? Where they marry the need of people needing a loan and investors that want to earn a decent return on their money. So again, remember, I'm going to make more videos to go into more detail of how exactly I implement each and every strategy and system, right, in the upcoming videos. So don't forget to subscribe, okay? And also in the link below I put for the book, I also go into detail exactly how I do it, okay? So let's keep moving. The next passive income stream is dividend income, right? Many of you are already familiar with this, right? Just in case you're not, it's about stocks, right? Some stocks actually pay out dividends, right? And what a dividend is basically where a company, shares their profit with their investors, right? So some companies want more money coming in, more people investing. And the way they entice people to do that is by paying out a dividend. So this one, actually, I just started this one last year. I want to say like maybe around June, July. But it's starting to rock and roll. It's already like, you got to picture, I don't know if you guys are familiar with compound interest. Like picture a small snowball at the top of the hill, right? And it's starting to roll down the hill, right? So in the beginning, right, it's kind of small, right, and it's nice and slow rolling. But as it's going down the hill, it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it's going down, it's just getting faster and faster and faster. So it's the same concept, right? With dividend income, all you're doing is you're buying stocks that pay out dividends. And it's not just any stock. You're going to buy stocks that are proven to pay out dividends, right? And the system I'm talking about, it's called the 10, 11, 12 system. And the book I read, I actually got it here, right? It's called Get Rich with Dividends. The author's name is Mark Lichtenfeld. Don't kill me if I'm not pronouncing that right. But it's an awesome book. I started reading it, and I couldn't put it down. And what the system is basically telling you, right? It's a 10, 11, 12 system. And of course, this is an excellent passive income system and tool to have, especially for retirement. Like if you got time, because the 10, 11, 12 system, right, it's about time. So the more time you have, the more money you're going to make, right? And you'll be surprised, like a difference in 5 to 10 years can be a difference in millions, right? This strategy alone can make you a millionaire in retirement. But again, you don't have to, right? If you want to do this and, collect the income now, you still can, right? It still could be another excellent way to produce passive income. But I'm using this one both. Not only am I using it, to make money now, but I'm also implementing this as my retirement plan in a Roth IRA, right? Roth IRA is basically you pay taxes now, so when it comes time to pull out the money, it's all tax-free. So all the interest you're making throughout the years, once you retire in the Roth IRA, it's all tax-free money. So I put 2 and 2 together, right? Not only am I using the system, but I'm also adding on top of that, putting it inside a Roth IRA. So I'm producing income now, and I'm producing income for my retirement. And the 10, 11, 12 system, all it is it's basically 10 years, right? The 10 is for 10 years. 11 represents the dividend yield after 10 years. So after 10 years, your dividend is going to grow to 11%. And then the 12 is 12% overall, right? Because remember, you're not just making interest or dividend yield when they pay out dividends. You're also making or earning capital gains, right? Because hopefully you're paying or you're buying the stock when it's kind of low, and by that time it's going to increase in price. So overall, when you include capital gains and you include the dividend growth, it's going to be 12%. So as you can see, more weight is put on the dividend growth than it is on the actual capital gains. Because if you think about it, yes, the stock market is going to go up and down, but you want the price of the stock to go down. So you want it to go down because when it goes down, guess what? You could buy more stocks, right? Part of the system is automatically reinvesting your dividends. So if you don't want to take out the money now, that's why I'm saying this is great for retirement, because if you use the system right, and you reinvest the dividends, remember, like I said, it's that snowball. You keep reinvesting the dividends, and that thing just turns into a monster, and it has a mind of its own, right? Once it picks up speed, and it picks up speed with time. So if you're like in your 40s, this is perfect for you, right? If you're in like your mid 40s, right? Because this really takes off. It's a 10-year kind of strategy, but this really takes off in like year 15 and 20. And I put a chart in the book so you guys can actually see what I mean, right? Again, smart money would be to put this in a Roth IRA. So that way, once this thing becomes huge and have a mind of its own, once it's time for you to retire, you have it within a Roth IRA. So now you could stop automatically reinvesting it, right? And I use TD Ameritrade, by the way, right? It's a stockbroker I use to buy the stocks. And in their platform, right, you can automatically select to reinvest the dividends. So again, right, use the system. I use TD Ameritrade. They charge, I think it's like $6.95 per trade. But I use their system to automatically reinvest the dividends for me, because the beauty, it's called a DRIP, D-R-I-P. The beauty of a DRIP is that, for a stock, right, let's say the stock price is $10. You can't buy that stock until you have another $10, right, to buy another share of stock. The beauty about dividend reinvestment, or the DRIP, is that you don't have to wait until you have the full amount in order to buy another share. So in my example of $10, if the stock costs $10, you don't have to wait until you've accumulated enough dividends to equal $10 before you can buy another share. No, with your DRIP, you could buy fractions of shares. So you see where this is going? So as we're slowly going downhill, right, my little snowball and that dividend reinvest is slowly but surely over time, it's picking up more fractions of shares. Before you know it, this thing is off and running, right? And another tip, if you guys have kids, this is also great for a college plan. So if you guys have kids, this is a great strategy or system to use to build that college fund for your kids. Because if you start, especially when they're young, right, like I said, this really takes off in like year 15, 20, right? And just imagine, I didn't even talk about investing more money. I'm just saying, if you start, I think in the book they give an example. If you start with 10,000, but you don't have to. Let's say you start with 1,000. You start with $1,000, right? And assuming you're just gonna reinvest the dividends, right? It's gonna grow. So by year 10, you're gonna double, right? By year 10, that $1,000, you're gonna double it. And not only that, but now you've got a lot more income or dividends coming in. So with $10,000, the same thing. In year 10, you're gonna double it. But in year 15 is like 5 times as much. So you see, it took 10 years just to double it, but by the time you get to 15, it's almost 5 times as much. And if you get to 20 years, just check out the graph or the table in the book. That way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? But again, this is an awesome strategy, especially if you're young and you got time. Even if you're in your mid-40s, right? This is an awesome tool to do so you can start planning for your retirement. But you don't have to necessarily wait till you retire, right? You could use it now, right? It's still just another form of passive income. And the stocks we're choosing are going to be from companies that have a proven track record, right? You're not just going to pick any random company and hope that they keep paying out dividends for another 10 to 15 years. No. We're going to select proven companies that have a proven track record of paying out dividends, right? The good thing about that is that there's a list already made for us, so we don't have to go crazy, ripping our hair out trying to research which company to get. There's already a list called U.S. Champions, I believe it is. And again, the link is in my book. And the U.S. Dividend Champions, it's already proven track record of companies that have 25 years or more of paying out dividends. So think about it. We just happened to recover from the whole housing crisis and the market crisis and all that. So if these companies made it through all that and were still paying out dividends, and not only paying them out, but also growing them, right? Which is another part of the strategy, right? So I highly recommend that you guys read the book also, right? Because I'll put a link below, so you guys can grab the book. Because there are other little intricacies that go into selecting which company, right? But for now, I'm just giving you, the overview, right? So again, dividend income, this is excellent for you to hit retirement as a millionaire, right? Because once you hit retirement, right, you could stop the dividend reinvesting, and now it's just a paycheck coming in, right? So you can live off of, besides all the other ways that you're making money. And again, if you guys have kids, this is an excellent strategy for you to use to start building that nest egg for your kids, right? For the college fund.